Nixon yields Watergate tapes under Supreme Court order on July 30, 1974. Under orders from the U.S. Supreme Court, President Richard Militars, Nixon turned over subpoenaed White House recordings to Special Prosecutor Leon Jaworski. The tapes were suspected to contain proof of Nixon's involvement in the Watergate scandal. That same day, the House Judiciary Committee approved a third article of impeachment, contempt of Congress for obstructing the investigation. The committee had already passed two earlier articles, obstruction of justice and abuse of presidential power. The scandal began on June 17, 1972, when 5 men, including a paid security coordinator for Nixon's re-election campaign, were arrested for breaking into and wiretapping the Democratic National Committee headquarters in Washington, D.C.'s Watergate complex. Soon after, 2 former White House aides were implicated, but the administration denied any role. Investigative reporters Carl Bernstein and Bob Woodward of the Washington Post later uncovered evidence of a broader conspiracy, triggering one of the most significant political crises in U.S. history. On May 17, 1973, the Senate Select Committee on Presidential Campaign Activities, chaired by Senator Sam Ervin of North Carolina, began nationally televised hearings. A week later, Harvard law professor Archibald Cox was appointed special Watergate prosecutor. Former White House counsel John Dean testified that the break-in had been approved by former Attorney General John Mitchell, with the knowledge of top Nixon aides John Ehrlichman and H.I.R. Haldeman, and that Nixon himself was aware of the cover-up. Cox's investigation revealed extensive political espionage, illegal wiretapping, and campaign contributions exchanged for political favors. In July 1973, the existence of the now famous Watergate tapes, official recordings of Oval Office conversations, was disclosed. Cox subpoenaed them, but Nixon stalled for 3 months before offering only edited summaries. When Cox refused, Nixon fired him in the Saturday Night Massacre. Jaworski replaced Cox and secured indictments against several senior officials, including Mitchell and Dean, who were later convicted. By the end of July 1974, public trust in Nixon had collapsed. Forced by the Supreme Court, he released the tapes on July 30th. Transcripts made public on August 5th revealed Nixon instructing Haldeman to have the FBI stop the Watergate investigation. 4 days later, Nixon resigned, the first U.S. president to do so. On September 8th, his successor, Gerald Ford, granted him a full pardon from criminal prosecution.